Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video, we're going to take a look at the week ahead analysis. We're going to discuss the news that's coming out this week, as well as some potential charts to watch. So, going into the news this week, we have nowhere near as much high impact data as last week, which usually leads to a little bit more of a risk on event. However, we have got some important data sets coming out. In the US, we've got the CB Consumer Confidence, as well as the ISM Services PMI data, as well as the ISM Manufacturing PMI data, all of which are suggesting, apart from the ISM Services PMI, that there is going to be another sort of hot bit of data coming out of the US, especially seeing forecasts of 108.5 on the consumer confidence, as well as 47.9 in the manufacturing PMI. Services PMI is expected or forecast to come in lower, but everything that's been forecast lower recently in the US has actually seen a bit more of a bullish turn. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes out this week and whether the dollar will continue to strengthen off the back of this data. We've also got the Bank of England Governor Bailey speaking. This is going to be quite interesting this week as talks between the UK and the EU have been advancing over the Northern Ireland Protocol, so it's going to be interesting to see if a deal can be done between the UK and the EU. If it is, then investors may kind of get some hopes up about a Brexit deal getting done sooner rather than later, which could actually cause the pound to strengthen, as there'll probably be less uncertainty around Brexit. So interestingly enough, Bank of England then Governor speaking, it would be interesting to see if the Bank of England Governor Bailey comments on any news around Brexit, but we will obviously see some volatility around that. Going on to some charts of interest then, coming on to the strength meter first, we can see that the pound was actually one of the strongest currencies last week. The US dollar remains top of the tables at +6, but in that reversal zone, so we could start to see a little bit of reversal there, although at the moment I think the dollar's too strong to reverse, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays this week. Yen is also the weakest currency, coming off the -7 into the -6. However, I do think that the yen weakness could remain. Going on to Euro US dollar then, so we can see that prices continuing to the downside here. I expect that to continue, although we may start to see some support coming into play. So, if price came down into this trendline support as well as this horizontal support here, we may get a short-term relief rally before seeing a continuation to the downside, maybe even a move back to the 106.50 handle lows just through here before seeing a continuation down. So I'm expecting euro dollar to trade lower because of the strength in the US dollar and the fact that we're more likely going to see the Fed having to hike rates more aggressively or for longer. So I think the dollar's going to remain strong because of that. So if we do see any rallies in the euro dollar price, it may be met with some quite heavy selling pressure. Same really goes for the pound, although the pound's a little bit different. Like I said, if the EU and UK can come to some kind of deal alongside the Northern Ireland Protocol, then we may actually see pound strengthen. Pound was one of the strongest currencies last week, so we may actually see price here range between the 200 moving average and the 1.21 handle. However, if the dollar is going to prevail and going to be the stronger currency, then we may see price push down to the 118.50 lows. Pound yen then is one to watch again. Pound, one of the stronger currencies, yen, one of the weakest currencies. We've discussed everything around the potential Northern Ireland Protocol deal coming in advanced talks. So it'll be interesting to see how price reacts here, because we've broken through this area of range where it's between the 156 handle, the 162 handle. We've closed above, we've come retested, we've got a bullish engulfing candle on Friday. So that could be a sign that price is going to move up to the next level of resistance, which we've got marked in here at 166. So definitely one to watch there on pound yen. Finally then, on gold, we can see that the price of gold has continued lower. That is likely going to continue over the next period of time as long as the Federal Reserve stick to the potential for them to hike rates for longer. If that happens, I actually think the price of gold could move a lot further lower beyond the $1,800 level. But that is the first sort of barrier of interest. If price comes into that $1,800, we may get a bit of a relief rally before seeing a continuation to the downside. That's all I've got for you this week. Hope you enjoyed this video update. If you did, leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more of our Forex trading content. And I'll speak to you in the next video.